World News from BGI TV, Baba Bagedemo TV. I am Sanu Tolakomi Ajikade. First, here the major headlines for the World News. Senate unaware of 22 trillion naira loans Nigeria government took from CBN. Representative cries out over house demolition of El-Rufai's government. Gbajabiamila deceived ASU to call off strike, then abandoned them. Army retires 120 generals, brigaders and colonels. Give us more recognition, Vigilante Group of Nigeria tells federal government. Niger government rescues 13 victims. Residents discover mutilated corpse inside drainage in Borno State. Police arrest man who beat daughter to death for using his phone to call her boyfriend, now on foreign. Former Pope Benedict dies at 95 years. And lastly, on sports, he will be set for 200th Premier League appearance. Now hear the news in details. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Army, Ali Undume, said on Friday evening that the Senate was not aware of the 22 trillion naira Ways and Means loan offered to the federal government by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Undume, who featured on Channels television program Politics Today, noted that the National Assembly only knew about the loans after President Muhammadu Buhari forwarded a letter to the Senate, requesting his approval for the restructuring of advances the federal government took from the Apex Bank. The upper legislative chamber on Thursday stood down the president's request to restructure the loans. That was the trigger the argument, and most importantly, it was just a two-page report. There was no details as to what the money was used for, and it would have been ridiculous or deceptive if I had gone ahead to approve it. The member representing Kaduna North Federal Constituency, Samaila Suleiman, has cried out over an alleged impending demolition of his house by the Nasir El-Rufai's government. Politics Nigeria reports that Suleiman said the governor El-Rufai had revoked the right of occupancy of the residents in Kawo New Extension, Kaduna. Recall that in March, Suleiman resigned his membership of All the Progressive Congress. The 41-year-old legislator left the ruling party following an eagle eye interest of Governor El-Rufai's eldest son, Bello, in his seat at his Green Chamber. Now a member of the main opposition, the People's Democratic Party, Suleiman raised another allegation of intimidation. The fisticuffs between the Nigerian government and Academic Staff Union of Universities has continued to generate concerns from Nigerians as well as rights organizations. Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria on Friday slammed the House of Representatives led by Femi Gbajabiamila by receiving the university lecturers into calling off his 8-month strike. The group also accused the Speaker of abandoning the lecturers, having assured them of federal government readiness to attend to all their demands. This development was against the backdrop of the altercations between the Speaker and the Academic Union regarding the failure of the federal government to honor agreements as promised from the strike. The federal government had insisted on no work, no pay policy for university lecturers throughout the 8 months they were on strike. Amid the security crisis confronting the country, the High Command of Nigerian Army has directed over 120 major generals, brigaders and colonels, lieutenants, captains and others to proceed on compulsory retirement. The affected officers, who include those who failed their senior staff corps examination, were ordered to submit their letter of voluntary retirement or face summary retrenchment. Saturday, Punch was informed that the exercise was in accordance with the public service rules and the Armed Forces of Nigeria, among time and conditions of services in 2017. It was gathered that the number of senior and middle-level personnel that will be required to leave the service might be higher than 120. An appeal was gone to the federal government to sign into law the proposed bill to uplift the status of the Vigilante Group of Nigeria to become a recognized security outfit in the country. The appeal was made by the Southwest Zonal Commander of FGM, Chief Olusoji Sodiyan, during a security summit put together by the Zonal Command in Ibadan. Chief Sodiyan, while enumerating the activities of the group, disclosed that there have been tremendous support to the government security agencies in apprehending criminals. He, however, stated that the inability to use sophisticated equipment is a major impediment of discharging their duties effectively. Niger State government has rescued no fewer than 13 kidnapped victims abducted from different locations and abandoned by their abductors. They were freed during gunfire between security forces and bandits in Gurara local government area of the state. The Commissioner for Internal Security and Humanitarian Services, Honorable Emmanuel Bangna Umar, who made this known in Mina in a press statement, said the victims were rescued on Friday, December 30, 2022. He explained that the rescue was made possible based on the tip-off that roving bandits were sighted around Borno, Gwalu and Shimbe areas of Gurara and Baikoro local government areas. According to him, consequently, joint security forces raided the areas, and during the raid, the criminals were routed and engaged in a gun battle. An official of the Civilian Joint Task Force has evacuated the corpse of a young man dumped inside the drainage in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Our correspondent who visited the scene on Saturday morning cited a young man covered with blood and dumped near a transformer unit at Old GRA, near the former international school on Damboa Road, Maiduguri. It was gathered that the corpse was found inside the drainage by the residents of the former international school street, was alerted the CJTF commander in Damboa, Circular Junction of the Maiduguri Metropolitan Council. Speaking with Daily Trust, a member of the task force, Bernard Umaru, said the dead body was brought to the area by an unknown person at midnight. The Akwa Ibom State Police Command on Friday paraded one Akailyene Sunday Okonkwo, who allegedly beat his 16-year-old daughter to death for using his phone to call her boyfriend. Commissioner of Police Olatoye Durosimi, in a press conference at the command's headquarters in Ikot, Akpanabia, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State Capital, said on 11th December 2022, relying on credible information, operative of Ikot Ebo Divisional Headquarters arrested Akaniye Sunday Okonkwo, who beat up his daughter Abasione Akaniye on Sunday, age 16, for using his SIM to call her boyfriend. The victim fainted and rushed a prayer house at Ikog Iya village instead of being taken to a hospital. The suspect, during an interview, admitted to his crime. Now on foreign. Former Pope Benedict XVI, who became the first pontiff to resign in some 600 years, has died aged 95. Pope Francis, who replaced him as head of the Catholic Church, has asked the faithful to pray for him at the end of his general audience on Wednesday morning. The physician and Benedict's body will lie in state in St. Peter's Basilica from Monday. With sorrow, I inform you all that the Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI passed away today at 9:34 in the Mater Exli Monastery in the Vatican. A spokesperson said, according to the Sky News, as of Monday morning, 2 January 2023, the body of the Pope Emeritus will be in St. Peter's Basilica, so the faithful can bid farewell. And lastly, on sport, Alex Iwobi will look to make his 200th overall Premier League appearance when Everton face Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium on Saturday. Should Iwobi step on the pitch tonight, it will also mark his 100th Premier League appearance for the Toffees. The 26-year-old featured in 100 league games for Arsenal before linking up the Everton in 2019. During this time and with Arsenal, Iwobi scored 11 times and provided 19 assists. The midfielder has so far netted 5 wins and contributed 7 assists in 99 appearances for Everton. The 26-year-old also played every minute of Everton's 16 Premier League games this season. That concludes the world news for this hour, but before we go, here's some of the major headlines once again. Senate unaware of 22 trillion naira loans Nigerian government took from CBN. Representative cries out over house demolition of El-Rufai's government. Gbajabiamila deceived ASU to call off strike, then abandoned them. Army retires 120 generals, brigadiers, and colonels. Give us more recognition, Vigilante Group of Nigerian tells federal government. To join us on all our social media handles, on Facebook as Gbagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo, follow the page and share the page, and on Instagram as Gbagede Imo_22. Follow the page and share the page as well, and on YouTube as Baba Gbagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn your post notification bell. And for your advert, call the number displaying on the screen. Thanks so much for always watching our news on Media TV. I am Sanusi Olakomi Ajikade. Bye.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV, you are one in a million.